Hey, Eli, I'm so glad you're here, man. I'm so glad you're here. I just wow, man. This is my son playing original music. Isn't this nice? He wrote this, of course. Well, all right. That was like a real song right there. Written and performed by my son Ryan Thomas Black. Pretty cool. I like listening to that. That's my favorite song he's written out of many. Welcome to one of many, many, many very criminal and the liar. Yes, the criminal and the liar. Let's talk about criminals and liars, should we? Should we? Let's talk about criminals and liars. Coach J. Rom, our little devil horn friend that has joined us. I'm so glad you're here. I'm the right guy for you to troll. There are many wrong guys for you to troll. I'm the right guy for you to troll. I am glad you're here. So, we're gonna talk about that. This has been a very interesting night. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here, other than the fact that I had other things to do tonight. Before I came home and realized that Pedro, in the process of invoking my name 10,000 times, in the process of completely irrelevant stories of our uh, boats passing in the night, ships passing in the night pass, right? Pedro and I always meant to meet in the ocean, but we just missed each other every fucking time. Every fucking time. I've been in his it had been like in his chat going, okay, Pedro, I'm ready to be on the air, and he just missed me. He was tired. He didn't want to do it, and we've texted and I did in fact contact Pedro. I had a team that sent him emails and stuff, and no, we never got to actually contact this. We set up a conference call. Pedro didn't show up, but on that conference call I planned to offer Pedro, like, hey, come to Bloomington, I'll pay for your hotel, I'll get you dinner, I want to tell you what I've learned so you can not be stupid, because he's stupid. um yeah, we know what harassing trolls are, Eli. But since we're going to be talking about organized crime and criminals and liars and pieces of shit and people that dodge a subject, it's probably good that he came in, because I think he's in the right place right now. So okay, so Pedro. Yeah, okay, but see, here's the thing. Okay, so Coach Rom says I'm not talking to you. So Rom, I'm going to ask you to just hold on 1 second. I'm going to address that. All right, fair enough for you, sir. Let's hold on 1 second. I'll just get through one story, then we'll move on to your story. We'll move on to your point, because you do have a salient point, and I'm glad that you made that point. All right, so talking about Pedro and Pedro's obsession and his audience's obsession for calling me onto this thing. So I've written a story about DoorDash. Pedro is one of the many characters in this sewer, which is the gig tubers in bed with DoorDash and all the other criminals, and they're all little turds floating around in the pool. Now, Pedro's a turd with a big ego. So Pedro bot turd thinks that Pedro turd is very, very important to the person that's writing about the sewer. The Pedro turd is not important to the guy writing about the sewer, nor is the Sin City turd, nor is the Cherry turd, nor is the Flex turd. None of the turds are important to the guy writing about the sewer. I'm the guy writing about the sewer. So, Pedro and his audience, in calling me out and calling me a coward and calling me a criminal, which I may or may not be. We'll talk about that in a minute too. Those things are all very humorous. The fact is, there's nothing for a writer of facts and journalism to speak to a nefarious, content stealing, con man, cult positivity gig tuber about. There's nothing that I would be on Pedro's door channel. If Pedro thinks he's NBC. If Pedro was NBC, I would not go on his channel. If Pedro is Fox News, I would not go on. I will go on regular Fox News before I go on Pedro's channel. So Pedro's very confused in the head. And again, Pedro chatted and I said, hey, Pedro, we could go on like a neutral channel if you want to talk, but I'm not going to be on your like silly little YouTube channel and let you press mute every time you want to make a point, because you're a big fucking idiot. Right. And he's like, well, of course he's big. And I'm like, well, I got the platform, I got the channel. I'm like, well, that I don't give a fuck, Pedro. You want to talk to me, man. I'm just telling you, if you want to talk to me, you can talk to me, but you can come on my channel. We can put it on a neutral channel. We can do whatever you want. Hey, DoorDash Revolution, glad you're here, my friend. This is a perfect time for you to show up. A gentleman that understands civil rights and writing and stories and truth. An astute gentleman, to be sure. I'm glad he's here. So Pedro's a very confused little turd in the sewer. There are a lot of confused little turds in the sewer. That's what GigTube is. It's a lot of little confused turds in a big sewer. Okay. So now I'm going to call the timeout because we got another one here. We got Amish here, and then we got Coach Rom, and I heard somebody very briefly. So I'm like maybe halfway through Pedro's ponderous ego trip 4-hour live tonight. It's awful. I'm watching it at 2x speed. I still can't fucking get through it. It's just fucking awful. It's just completely and totally awful. Awful broadcasting. And Pedro is sitting there gloating with his little cult members, like rooting him on, drinking their Kool-Aid, going, "You're doing great, boss." And he's going, "I'm killing it, man." He like muted. He wouldn't let Robert Reese say anything. He kept rooting. He muted Robert Reese and then hung up on him and then claimed victory. Pedro beat up on Robert Reese tonight in his own mind, which is where Pedro lives. In his own mind and up his own asshole. That is where Pedro lives. The Pedrobot is very flexible, which is good because DoorDash is about flexible work, and Pedro has flexible work up his own asshole. So, we're going to get to you folks that are here for the wrong reason. Here's the wrong reason to be here tonight. The right reason to be here tonight is the reason my friend DoorDash Resolution is here. The reason my friend DoorDash Revolution is here is that DoorDash Revolution is here because he cares about the people, all the people, good people, bad people, young people, old people, people of all colors, faiths, everything, right? He cares about the people. Now, in that group of people, he'd probably admit there are maybe some that on some days are not terribly worthy of his of a whole bunch of kindness. Maybe some of them just need some correction, like some reprobates like Pedro and other people like Glitchard, right? Reprobates need some attention. Now, that can be done. But if we were having, let's say, a labor revolution that saved us all from certain death from oligarchs and corporate AI, that would be a bad time to focus on the little turds in the sewer, wouldn't it? So, Amish and Coach Rom, the problem that I have for you is you're fucking up my labor revolution because you're worried about the little turds in my sewer. Do you understand? Do you fuckers understand? Why don't you fuckers answer me and tell me if you understand why you're screwing up my fucking labor revolution? Go ahead. I'm waiting for you. You little fuckers. You think you're going to come in here and run your fucking my agenda? While we're trying to save people's lives from app slavery and these fucking con men. We're going to go into the fucking con men in a minute. That's why I'm up at 3 o'clock in the morning when I should be fucking sleeping like every other 55-year-old motherfucker. But I don't get to sleep because you know what? This world's creeping with a whole bunch of people that want you dead. I'm waiting for fucking answers. I don't see any. I do not see any. Coach Rom and Amish, you have not entered anything in my chat. What is your issue? You're here for a fucking reason. Let's go. You want to your little turds are more important than the labor revolution that's going to save millions of lives. So I want you to fucking speak up right now. Let's go. Okay, here's the problem. I'm going to wake up my housemates with the shouting, and I probably already have. That's a bad thing because that's not a good thing to do. We don't want to wake up people in here, people shouting in the middle of the night. I don't want to be shouting in the middle of the night, but you people are fucking crazy. You don't understand that you're trying to like tank the whole human race because you've got a problem in your pants, okay? So why don't you guys go away, play with the other children, and if you want to come back, then we'll entertain you. But it seems like you have nothing to say. I think I knew that already. Thank you guys for participating. That's a wonderful point that we could make today. It's very important. So let's move on to our featured folks here. Our featured folks. These are our featured folks. We're going to share a screen here, and we're going to share the screen quite far, actually, into this debauchery that we see. I see the title of this train wreck tonight is Sin City Debauchery and the Pedrobot. Okay, so Watch how you talk to me. I'm trying to save you. Like, look, man, fuck you. You don't get it. I don't want to be saved from anybody. You do not need to save Jeff Thomas Black from fucking anybody. So just stick it up your ass, get over yourself, and get the fuck out of my chat. Get the fuck out of my revolution. Get the fuck out of the people's revolution and deal with your shit elsewhere. Okay, bro? Okay, bro? Okay, bro? My God, you must have the kind of ego like Pedro if you think your little fucking turd pool is more important than the people's revolution. God damn you people. Fucking idiots. It's what URUB was made for, isn't it? So that Coach J. Rom could come here and talk to us about his fucking turd pool. All right, let's get started.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't really much care about the questions because I don't care what their opinion is towards what I did.
Okay, so
And I'm
the
saying
first
that
point that we need to get about Glitchard is that Glitchard does not care. Okay, that's important about Glitchard. Glitchard does not care. Okay. Oh, we took care of Pedro's. Yeah, expose me, motherfucker. Expose everything. Yeah, you're a fucking. Just expose me. Just get the fuck out of here, you piece of shit. Just fuck off. Ban user and delete your comments. Just fuck off. My goodness. My goodness, what a loser. All right. So, the first thing you know is that nobody cares, right? That's why we're here with these wonderful people that have been giving you information for the last few years about how to feed your family and keep clothes on your kids' back and have a roof over your head. They don't care. So that's important for you to know.
that in the most like lighted, loving way. I'm not trying to be negative at all.
Lighted
It's
and
what I
loving.
did is what I did. And if somebody's gonna be mad about an exploit that's built directly into the app and you're gonna be sour about it because of another person, that's that's that
That
own
I mean
person's
that
hell
yeah,
they
that's
have
up
to
to
live
you how
with.
you want
You
to.
know what I
That's
mean?
up to you how. Yeah, that's up to you. But a lot of people feel like, well, you're charging for a Discord, which I never had a problem with. I ain't got a make money. I don't give a fuck. That's
Well,
not
hold
my
on.
issue.
There's people that don't even.
Right. So Pedro doesn't care. Right? Pedro doesn't care who's making money or how they make money. And Pedro also said earlier in the stream that, you know, he was told that this stuff was going on, and he was asked not to tell anybody. And of course, Pedro, being a great guy in the organized crime business, didn't tell anybody. So before we go on, let's talk about that. Let's talk about truth and lies. Um, these guys cannot see the forest for the trees. They think that the turd pool is the story. The turd pool is not the story. Anything that these two floating turds on the screen right here could say to you or for each other, against each other, is completely and totally irrelevant. There's only one reason these two gentlemen matter in the world to anyone on YouTube or outside of YouTube, in my life, in your life. Nobody fucking cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Okay? The only reason any of this thing matters is it proves to you, the world, that this is a giant scam. This is a game. And the most important thing Glitchard is going to tell you coming up is in every game, there's ways to cheat. There's people at the top, there's people at the bottom, there's everything else. This is what I've been telling you from the start. There is nothing organic. This is a game world. You're being cheated. You're not independent. You're being fleeced. They're pushing you to the bottom. They're playing you. They're playing the customers. So now, again, the egocentric gentlemen on the screen think that this is about them because they're egocentric gentlemen on their own little screen thinking this is about them. That's why that is. But again, these are the lowest level crime bots. So these are like the strippers, like Pedrobot and Glitcher are like the strippers at a mob owned strip club. So they're probably doing a few tricks in the back room. They know some secrets. Maybe they party a little bit. They have their friends over. These guys are strippers. They know it's a mob club. You know, sometimes they do a little bit of dirty stuff. They probably drop off some things to some people. They know who their friends are. They know who their enemies are. These are just the low level little, turds floating around in the turd bowl. This is what these people are, right? So Glitchard is kind of like a tech turd, right? He's got his guitars and everything. Glitchard's a tech turd. So Glitchard, being a tech turd, kind of figured out that this being uh Yeah, this will never end now. This will never ever end now. You're right. This will never end. Like this DoorDash thing is just insane. This DoorDash thing is so completely insane. It'll never end because it's the first and best example that corporate AI is nothing but pure fraud. So again, we're going to listen to these guys for a minute, but I just don't want to obscure even for like a fraction of a second. I don't want to obscure even for a fraction of a second the fact that these guys are inconsequential. And just because Pedro has a 4-hour show about his ego and about stroking his own ego, then that is not enough to make him significant. So you just have to realize that we're watching people that are deluded. Okay, so we're going to move forward.
Understand, you guys misconstrue that because you guys are ignorant and you never ask the proper questions. So what is your thinking of me charging for Discord? Explain.
Okay, so Cherryberry, one of our whistleblowers, likes to wants to say this too. Everybody likes to pretend they know something in a criminal conspiracy, right? You're not asking the right questions. Everybody's giving the wink and the nod and the refusal to really tell the truth, but they'll tell kind of part of the truth, but you're not asking the right questions. So this is a game. You see that they're playing a game. Let's play their game.
Yourself
No.
right there, because
So,
you
and
blow it out of proportion every time, and this
No,
is
I
where I'm
didn't.
getting with like people listen to you and they go, okay, well he's charging for his Discord, so let's
No.
break this one down. Let's
So
explain.
I actually had your back and defended you earlier tonight because a lot of the misconception from the community, not everybody, but from some people, enough people.
So Pedro is deluded to the fact that like this is all about him. Pedro is the son and everything revolves around Pedro. So Pedro's thinking like, what does the glitch or the many glitches, what does this mean to me? What does this scandal mean to me? So he's trying to put this all in context for his audience. But again, the fact is it's not about him. The only thing it's about is that there are low-level criminals like these two guys doing the criminal stuff, because when there's low-level criminals doing this stuff, what are there? They're the big high-level criminals that own the game, right? That are running the actual game, and these guys are just the foot soldiers.
Was that Richard's charging $40 for the glitch? And I set that record straight tonight. Ron was here. I said, hey, people think this about Richard with and I was like, that's not true, right? And he said, yeah, he was not charging for that, because a lot of people felt some way about that. And so I cleared your name with that immediately, right?
No, I never took 1 penny for this piece of information.
Right.
from
Yeah. I never thought you really did. I didn't know
No.
about the glitch. So
The money
know?
that we took from people for $40 on a Discord was to coach them how Top Dasher worked when we understood that having a high acceptance rate, and this is before Diamond, right? So let's even go before Diamond. Before even Diamond comes out, you can have a high acceptance rate and you get that at the end of the month, and then you would get priority access to, higher paying orders as a Top Dasher. This is before the Diamond program, right? So at that point, that's what we were teaching people to do, is how to get your acceptance rate raised up into 70% or higher as a Top Dasher. Take X amount of orders, decline X amount per day, last 5 days of the month. Then you would be able to have the perks for the next 30 days of Top Dasher. That's what we charged $40 for people, so that they kind of got like an up to speed on how do I get into the best paying offers.
You charge somebody $40 and you cost them money when you could have just gave them the glitch. Why?
No, at that point we did not cost them any money because they were.
So all of this, right? All of this is just ponderous details about gaming the system. Does it matter how they game the system at this point? It really doesn't.
Doing Hell Week. And
when you do Hell Week, sometimes you're going to lose money. That's a fact.
Well, there you go. Sometimes, but through the experience.
There you go. So there's more of Pedro's bad gambling advice. They're going to teach you how to lose money for a week called Hell Week, because that's what you want out of a career, is Hell Week where you lose money. I mean, do they offer? Does your driver Mike offer a degree in Hell Week where you lose money in his your driver Mike University or whatever? Does anybody offer training in in Hell Week. I mean, this is kind of the thing. We talked about this today. I talked to a couple. I probably talked to about 5 different dashers today of different varieties, and we talked about this, that there's just the fact that these guys can talk about the disparity of either making or losing money and playing games or not playing games, and then pretend that it's a serious business, pretend that they're independent contractors. Like, that's the problem. That's the part that Pedrobot and Glitchy could never get over it, right? Pedrobot and his twin brother Glitchy, who does not have the skin mask that Pedrobot has, just cannot get over the fact that they're giving bad gambling advice on basically one-armed bandits, right? DoorDash is just another gambling machine. It doesn't matter which goon rigs the machine in which casino or which back room or whatever. It doesn't matter. I've told Pedro that, but Pedro's ego will not allow Pedro to believe that he does not matter in this scandal. The scandal is about DoorDash, not the dipshits that are the strippers in the DoorDash club, right? The Pedro bot and the glitchered bot are just like little G-string wearing strippers in the mob club, right? And maybe the Pedro and the glitchered bots, or maybe they go in the back room and do special things for special money. They probably do, because that's what criminals do. We don't know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay, so what? So let's listen to this crime, and let's listen to these criminals rationalize like which good guy should get the good guy benefits, and which, how they can give advantages to our friends, because we want our friends to win. We don't want everyone to win like it's a job, right? We don't want people to just work and get paid like it's a job. We want this to be gambling. So we want our friends to win. And for our friends to win, somebody has to lose. That's the way the game is played, right? This is a zero-sum game. This is not a real market. This is not a real job. It's a zero-sum game. For one person to get more, somebody else has to get less. Is that not true? Can everybody get more? No, everybody can't get more. They're going to talk about that in a minute. They're going to talk about the fact, well, that if everybody's getting the more, if everybody starts using these special features built into this AI system and everybody's getting the more, then there is no more. There's only the less, because it's a zero-sum game, and we can only divide it so many ways. Or we can divide it as many ways as we want, but there's only so much of it no matter how many ways we divide it, right? We just divide it into smaller portions. That's what happens with stocks. It's called dilution, right? We can dilute it. And so these guys think they have a market where they're at the top of the market. They don't want to dilute the top of their market into the whole market, because they've got a little rigged game up here that they don't want to dilute, because the whole market is shit, right? So if they take their little good game, they take the lemon, right? And they, this is the good lemon, but if they drop the lemon into the punch bowl, then it's just a whole bunch of, it's just a dirty lemon in a punch bowl of turds, and it's not a special lemon anymore. And then they just blend it all up into a turd lemon frappe, which is we're looking at on the screen here. This is a turd lemon frappe that we're hearing from.
Our people that did it, they made more money during that time because they accepted more and they were getting more pay, and then their offers are getting better as they work their way up at the same time.
So why not take $40? Why not take $40 and say, hey, I need you to just sit in your home for the next day and get your AR this way, and then they didn't have to do Hell Week at all.
Because the value of it, even today,
smells good,
is priceless. This is how ignorant this community is. That they would
they love you. Your broadcasters love you when they're talking about you as people, the people they make their money and living, and guitars hanging off the wall of, and their Pedrobot beards and their skin masks and shit. They hold you in contempt just like DoorDash does. You're just the fucking rubes. You got to know that. You got to know that. Pedro don't love you like I do. That's got to be true, because at least I don't make money off you. Pedro don't love you. At least I must at least care a little bit of a shit to be up here at 3:20 in the morning.
Value of what?
The value of the glitch, even today, is priceless on how much more money you can earn.
Oh, a priceless glitch. Glitchard says his glitchard glitch is priceless. He's got the glitch itch to get glitch rich like a glitch bitch. That's amazing. That is amazing.
off of knowing how to exploit orders and knowing not how to.
Exploit orders. We just, well, look, it is a fact that when data scientists talk about AI systems, they use the technical term exploitation. Yeah, that is actually a data science term. So, yeah, that's you. You're the exploited out of the exploitation. This is so educational. This is just great shit. Pedro is a good teacher. Pedro's a good teacher. Life lessons from Pedro.
Exploit orders. Teaching someone how to exploit orders, I could take someone from $500 a week to $2,500 a week. If they
Woo!
hustle
You hear that
themselves.
shit?
That's a massive difference.
Gonna
And
make
it
you
exists
money.
right now.
More
Anybody
money.
can do it. You iPhone users, which I see in the chat, people say that iPhone can't do it. Whatever you guys channel you
Yeah,
heard that
I
from,
have
that person's
an
wrong.
iPhone. Yeah,
You
they're
can
wrong.
do it with an iPhone. You can do it with an Android. You can do it with a flip phone. It doesn't.
You can do it with anything. You see what Glitchard's saying? So this is the thing. So what you guys are getting in the community is coming from DoorDash, of course, right? And it's coming from the minions of DoorDash. So it's called FUD. So when we've figured out the scam, which we have, right? We figured out the scam. We haven't like searched through every turd in the punch bowl because we don't care about the turds in the punch bowl. But we figured out the scam. We know what the scam is, right? So what was the point? We are, yeah. Once you finish out, once we figure out the scam, I don't remember what I was going to say. Anyway, I hit myself in the head too hard, probably.
Doesn't matter what it is. You can do it. And this is what it is. It's
Oh, yeah. Okay, it was about the FUD, right? That you can't. So I've seen the FUD multiple times. I heard you can't do this on the iPhone. I heard people are going to get decapitated. I heard people are going to get their left toe cut off. Like there's all that's called fear, uncertainty, and doubt. So you put that out in the community and you put that in the marketplace because then you can get a good percentage of the Urubes, right? You can get a good percentage of the Urubes to just be scared and be scared of deactivation, be scared of their smartphone in their pocket. They'll be terrified of it because they're Urubes because of fear, uncertainty, doubt. So you put out just some false information. You go like, well, it doesn't work on iPhone. And then the people with iPhone go, oh, well, fuck, it doesn't work on iPhone. I won't look into it anymore. That works, right? And then you put in the one like, well, you're going to get decapitated. They go, oh, shit, I don't want to get decapitated by DoorDash. And so instead of getting decapitated, they're like, I'm not going to do it. I want to get decapitated like Thomas Schuback. And so they don't get decapitated. So there's all kinds of different ways to do it. But everything that you're hearing is fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And the reason I know it's fear, uncertainty, and doubt is because none of us know anything. This is a game world. There are no rules. The only rule is there are no rules. There are no laws about what they can do. They can't even control it. That's a whole nother story that I'm not even going to get to tonight about how this isn't even something that DoorDash controls, because that's also true. DoorDash doesn't control nearly what you think it does. This AI system is a little existence of its own. It's a little money printing machine of its own, but it doesn't mean that the people running the money machine knows how it works anymore. They know how they set it up, but it's got a whole bunch of shit going on that no human completely understands. So again, we're very delusional when we think like human beings about artificial intelligence, that it's somehow processing information analogous to a way that a human being would, and it doesn't. Okay, it's doing millions of predictions a second on millions of things across billions of things across trillions of things. Okay, it's just unfathomable, and it's rigged against you. Unfathomable and rigged against you. That's a great combination. You should do more.
It's the power of, like, even in your thing, it says, exposing the frauds, liars and clowns. Knowledge is power, and power in caps, right? The power is knowledge, right? And this exploit is power over the orders in DoorDash. And the community that is so super sour about orders in DoorDash, the literal key and gate code is given to them right now. Like Sorcerer's Stone is in all of your guys' fucking hands right now, and you're just
That's pretty exciting. We're playing Sorcerer and Stone. Did you hear this? Did you hear the power of a rigged game? That you can play Sorcerer and Stone with all the things. This is getting more exciting all the time. You might want to invite your friends and family to start being DoorDashers for this wonderful, flexible, independent contractor opportunity in a gig app game world. I think this is getting more exciting all the time.
like
but
to me,
you
it
didn't
blows
give.
my mind. Hold on. It blows my mind that the negative side of the community would try and slander it so far when they're the ones using it also. They're the ones
Yeah,
making money from it.
So
And
this is organized criminals. This is Mr. Pink and Mr. Blue and Mr. Green pointing. You screwed up our scam. No, you screwed up our scam. No, you screwed up our scam. They don't even realize that they're the turds in the punch bowl that are just all in this. I don't know how bright these guys are. I really don't. Or if they're just so lost in a world that's other than the world of integrity and transparency that they don't even, they just, I mean, Thomas Schubeck does a great job. My hero Glitch Dash, he calls them fart sniffers. And I think that's just it, man. They're just lost in their own gaseous emissions. And it's tragic. I mean, this is some sick stuff that we're watching here. And by the way, what these guys are admitting on YouTube, I would think if they had lawyers, they would not be admitting on YouTube. I'm no lawyer, but I'm concerned for their futures.
it gets taken away, all of us are going to take the hit on it and get reset to just being the bare minimum of struggling on DoorDash, like majority people that do. You know,
See, but
like
that's not.
in any video game, in any program, in any business, there's always upper echelon people that are using some type of shortcut or some type of code or some type of something to help them modulate themselves at that high
Nobody.
of, of a workspace.
I don't think anybody's saying that's not true.
Oh, interesting. So let's recap. So Glitchard said every game is rigged, everything is rigged, there's somebody running it, everybody's running it. And then the Pedrobot said that's true. So again, the turds in the punch bowl are agreeing. But then where does the cult of positivity that the Pedrobot sells, the personal responsibility, the betting on yourself, the opportunity for income, where do all those things fit into a rigged game when you're at the bottom and Pedro knows it's a rigged game and you're at the bottom, is what he just told us. We're going to watch that again. Because that was very substantive. I think this is an excellent interview. I'm glad Pedro did this show tonight. I'm glad I didn't have to watch it in real time. And I will never certainly watch the whole thing. In fact, I don't even think we're not going to go past Glitchard. This is not going to go very long. I'm going to bed, but this is very important to set this up. Also, Glitchard has a 10 a.m. Either Pacific or Eastern. Let's look and see if it was 10 a.m. Pacific. Glitchard is spilling the beans tomorrow. So this is his promo, if you will. This is his promo opportunity for his own, I'm told, not live show tomorrow at 10. I got it on my phone. 8:28 at 10 a.m. So that must be my time zone, which is Pacific. So 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Glitchard has the glitch that killed DoorDash. Oh boy, do I like this name. I'm going to show it to you. I like it so much. Look at that. Glitchard. I cannot show this on the screen. Glitchard. There we go. The glitch that killed DoorDash. Excellent. The glitch that killed DoorDash. Very exciting. I will certainly be tuned in, even if it's not live. If it's just a regular premiere at 10, I'm going to be tuned in because Richard thinks that this glitch will kill DoorDash, and I actually think this is one of the things that will kill DoorDash because it proves to you that DoorDash is fake. DoorDash is a scam. It's not the glitch. It's the scam. It's not the Dashers. It's the DoorDash. Okay, so we're going back.
A week to $2,500 a week.
Right. Okay. So now we're back to the point where Richard's telling you that with his Glitchard, he can get his glitch itch with the glitch bitch up from 500 to 2,500 by rigging the rigged game, right? Which is great. I mean, that's what we're playing here. We're playing a game. If you're going to play Zelda, and you got the Zelda cheat code, you use the Zelda cheat code, right? You don't want to like go through the 3 lower levels again. Shit's boring. All right, let's go.
a massive difference, and it exists right now. Anybody can do it. You iPhone users, which I see in the chat, people say that iPhone can't do it. Whatever you guys channel, you heard that from.
iPhone
that
can do it.
person's wrong.
Yeah,
You
they're
can
wrong.
do it with an iPhone. You can
Glitch
do it
Dash
with
shows
an
it.
Android. You can do it with a flip phone. It doesn't matter.
Do it
what
with a
it
flip
is.
phone. Anything.
And this is what it is. It's
So Glitchard, man, Glitchard is saying, don't worry about the FUD, right? Everybody's using it. They can't target you if everybody's using it and it's a feature they built, which it is. So anything other than that is FUD. Now, of course, DoorDash could change the rules and deactivate you or me or them or anybody because there are no rules. It's a computer AI system. The computer AI can cancel any of us and decapitate us for no or any reason because it's a computer AI system. It's their world. You're playing in their little game world. So to be afraid of their game world because if you play the game better than they want you to play the game, then they're going to kick you out of the game. We're getting levels of weird here, right? So we're back to this FUD. What is this FUD? This FUD is because they don't want you and everybody else to know that the jig is up. The jig is up. Don't believe the FUD, man. Look, if it's in the game and the game's in your phone, then play the game. And if you're not going to play the game, don't play the game. But if the game's rigged, use all the features of the game. This isn't a job. That's why this isn't income. This is nothing. This is a passing fad that is a scam and will be out of business like FTX and Enron. And this is the scandal that did it. And it's not the glitch, which is just the feature of the artificial intelligence. It's not that. It's that this scandal, the turds in the punch bowl that you're looking at on the screen, prove to you that this is a poison punch bowl. Do you want to go swimming and working in turd-filled poison punch bowls? Please tell me you don't. Please tell me you don't, because if you do, you're crazy. Crazy. It's crazy to do DoorDash. Crazy. Doesn't mean some of us haven't done it. I did 5,521 deliveries. I didn't know as much then as I know now. But let me tell you, I wouldn't go do a single DoorDash on a bet right now because it would be crazy with what we know right now to take that risk for that reward. The risk reward isn't there, and you're not an independent contractor. If anything in the entire world has been proved by Glitchgate, by Thomas, Glitch Dash, Schubeck, by Brian, by Eli, by Robert Reese, by the Rev, by Torp, by all the people that have been telling you the truth. The only thing that's proved is this is a big fucking scam from top to bottom, to side, this way, that way, up, down, sideways. Come on, man. Let's use our heads, right? I told people today, there's something about the gig economy and using a mobile phone that made everybody turn into a fucking drooling idiot. Because you would have to be a drooling idiot to work for $2 and drive your own car around. You just would. But a cell phone can make you do it. A smartphone can make you do it if they do it right, if they give you intermittent reinforcement and they give some rewards and then they go, well, the bad shit's just called Hell Week. Well, I'm sorry. Do you want to work? What did you sign up? Did you sign up for the gig economy because you wanted to celebrate Hell Week every month? Is that what you did? That's what that's you're a cagey bastard, you gig workers. You're just like, I'm gonna get me some Hell Week again. And I'm like, yeah, fuck you. I'm gonna get me some more Hell Week. All right. Now let's listen to the fact that Pedro knows that this is all a scam and he gives nothing but bad gambling advice. And all he is a jerk off that goes running around on TV saying weird, or on YouTube saying weird shit in St. Louis, and acting like he's a cult hero. Here we go.
It's the power of, like, even in your thing, it says, exposing the frauds, liars and clowns. Knowledge is power, and power in caps, right? The power is knowledge, right? And this exploit is power over the orders in DoorDash, and the community that is so super sour about orders in DoorDash, the literal.
So, okay. So if this little noodle on the left or right, depending on which way you're looking at the screen, if Glitchard has power over the orders of DoorDash, how confident are you in the integrity of DoorDash on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 being holy fuck, this thing needs to be burnt, killed with fire. 10, 10 being I still want to be an app slave. Are you 1 to 10? Glitchard. So before you answer, remember Glitchard has the power over the orders of DoorDash. That's the power of Glitchard. He's kind of like Gollum, right? He's got the power. He's got the key to the kingdom. This is the kingdom that you think you're feeding your family off of. That's some sick ass shit right there, my friends. Let's keep going.
Key and gate code is given to him right now. Like the Sorcerer's Stone is in all of your guys'
This is
fucking
magic.
hands right
Sorcerer's Stone.
and
There's
just
illusions.
grabbing
There's
it out
wizards.
Yeah,
Like
but
to me,
you
it
didn't
blows
give-
my mind. Hold on. It blows my mind that the negative side of the community would try and slander it so far when they're the ones using it also.
Yeah, man. Like when you got the key, you don't give it to the other guys, right? I read Omelas the other day, which is Salem, Oregon backwards, or Salem O backwards, which is about the ignorant and unworthy having to suffer and in misery and squalor for eternity so that everybody else can have a good life. And these guys dig it, right? These guys dig it. They go like, you look, man, we got the good side of town. We're on the right side of the tracks. We hang with the good people, and the other people, man, somebody's got to die. Somebody's got to starve, and it ain't going to be me. That's the kind of people these are. Is that the kind of people you are? It's not the kind of person I am, which is why I don't like these people, which is why I'll never go on Pedro's show, even if some of you ask me 10 billion times, because I don't like him. I don't trust him, and I don't like him. And I don't talk to con artists unless I'm doing a story on a con artist and they're like, recognized and admitted as a con artist, and I need something from them. I don't talk to con artists in mid-con, for God's sakes. I have nothing for Pedro to say to me. I have nothing for Pedro to debate. He's a turd in a punch bowl. I'm not going swimming in Pedro's turd punch bowl. It's just not going to happen. Pedrobot is going to have to play with people like Glitchard in his punch bowl. And I think their punch bowl might get dumped out pretty soon. I'd be a little scared if I was in their punch bowl.
The ones making money from it, and when it gets taken away, all of us are going to take the hit on it and get reset to just being the bare minimum of struggling on DoorDash, like majority people that do.
Struggling on DoorDash like the majority of people do. Let's see if Pedro disagrees. Does Pedro say, no, the majority of people don't struggle. The majority of people do just fine.
In any video game, in any program, in any business, there's always upper echelon people that are using some type of shortcut or some type of code or some type of something to help them modulate themselves at that high.
I don't think anybody's saying that's not true. The issue is taking $40.
Okay. So Pedro doesn't have any problem with what Glitchard just said. Pedro, he doesn't think that that's untrue, and he doesn't have a problem with it. Let's listen again, because I just want to make sure of this context. I want to be fair to the Pedrobot.
I'm saying that in the most lighted, loving way. I'm not trying to be negative at all. It's what I did is what I did, and if somebody's gonna be mad about an exploit that's built directly into the app, and you're gonna be sour about it because of another person, that's that own person's hell they have to live with. You know what I mean?
That's up to you. That's up to you. But a lot of people feel like, well, you're charging for a Discord, which I never had a problem with. I ain't got a problem. Make money. I don't give a fuck.
Don't give a fuck to make money.
Yeah, you guys misconstrue that because you guys are ignorant and you never ask the proper questions.
Don't ask the right questions.
Thinking of me charging for a Discord. Explain yourself
right
there, because you blow it out of proportion every time. And this
I don't care about the Discord.
I actually had your back and defended you earlier tonight
because he's a dipshit.
A lot of the misconception from the community, not everybody, but from some people, enough people, was that Richard's charging $40 for the glitch, and I set that record straight tonight. Ron was here. I said, hey, people think this about Richard with and I was like, that's not true, right? And he said, yeah, he was not charging.
Power to the fraudsters.
A lot of people felt some way about that, and so I cleared your name with that immediately, right?
No, I never charged.
I'm sorry. How does Pedro think he cleared Glitchard's name? Because it was cool if Glitchard charged $40 on Discord for information. Okay, whatever.
Never took one penny for this piece of information.
Right. Because, like, I mean, how do you know which information I give you for a penny? I give you information for a penny that I want to give you, and the information that maybe I shouldn't give you, I wouldn't give it to you for the penny. And that would, I might give it to you some other way, but not for that penny.
Right.
For me,
Yeah. I never thought you really did. I didn't know
no.
about the glitch. So
The
how would
the
I have
money
known?
that we took from people for $40 on a Discord was to coach them how Top Dasher worked when we understood that having a high acceptance rate, and this is before Diamond, right? So let's even go before Diamond. Before even Diamond comes out, you can have a high acceptance rate and you get that at the end of the month, and then you would get priority access to, higher paying orders as a Top Dasher. This is before the Diamond program, right? So at that point, that's what we were teaching people to do, is how to get your acceptance rate raised up into 70% or higher as a Top Dasher. Take X amount of orders, decline X amount per day, last 5 days of the month. Then you would be able to have the perks for the next 30 days of Top Dasher. That's what we charged $40 for people, so that they
Okay, so he just taught, a system of how to rig the system, which probably is not. I mean, feature called the glitch aside, I don't necessarily disagree with Glitchard here. I don't know that telling somebody a methodology to use their iPhone could be a criminal offense. I don't think that's the case. Now, knowing that DoorDash is a fraud, knowing that DoorDash is a manipulable platform, and still being part of telling people that it's some kind of a work opportunity and that it's independent contracting, that might be a problem. But I think, I mean, in terms of if Glitchard's just offering like gig app coaching advice, I mean, I don't know. That's probably both relatively normal and fairly benign.
kind of got like an up to speed on how do I get into the best
So
paying
you charge
offers.
somebody $40 and you cost them money when you could have just gave them the glitch. Why?
No, at that point we did not cost them any money because they were doing
Sure you did.
Hell Week, and
Yeah,
and
when you do
during
Hell
Hell
Week,
Week,
sometimes you're going to lose money. That's a fact.
well, there you go.
Some
Sometimes,
drivers
but
will
through
lose
the
money.
experience of our people that did it, they made more money during that time because they accepted more and they were getting more pay, and then their offers are getting better as they worked their way up at the same time.
So why
So
not
they
just
made
why
more
not take
money.
$40? Why not take $40 and say, hey, I need you to sit in your home for the next day and get your AR this way, and then they didn't have to do Hell Week
because
at all.
because the
So again, like all they're talking about is just how to use DoorDash in a way that most people can't use it so that they can get an unfair advantage and then lie to their viewers. That's the problem. Like these guys don't understand. The problem is that they have no credibility with their viewers. It's not whether I like them or whether Thomas Glitch Dash Schubeck likes him or whether Brian likes him or whether Torp likes him or anything. Nobody cares. Nobody cares has personal feelings about the individual turds in the punch bowl. They're just the turds in the punch bowl. They just all smell bad. They're just all things that we want to stay away from.
value of it, even today, is priceless. This is how ignorant this community
Priceless
is. That they would
ignorance.
The
that they
value
would
of what? The value of what?
the
That you went
value of
through
the
Hell Week?
glitch even today is priceless on how much more money you can earn off of knowing how to exploit orders and knowing not how to exploit orders. Teaching someone
Exploit
how to
things.
exploit orders, I can take someone from $500 a week to $2,500 a
Mm.
week if they really hustle themselves. That's a massive difference, and it exists right now. Anybody can do it. You iPhone users, which I see in the chat, people say that iPhone can't do it. Whatever you guys channel you
Yeah,
heard that from, that
I have
person's
an
wrong.
iPhone.
That's
Yeah.
You can do it
FUD.
with an iPhone.
We know
You
what
can do
FUD
it with
is
an
now.
Android. You can do it with a flip phone. It doesn't matter what it is. You can do it.
Right.
And this is what it is. It's the power of, like, even in your thing, it says, exposing the frauds, liars and clowns. Knowledge is power, and power in caps, right? The power is knowledge,
So
right?
in Pedro's title, exposing the frauds, liars, and clowns, I assume he was talking about himself. I mean, that's clearly the subject of this conversation. Amazing. Pedro's lack of personal insight is truly astounding.
And this exploit is power over the orders in DoorDash, and the community that is so super sour
Power over the orders in DoorDash. That's you got. So you're an independent contractor, but Glitchard has power over your orders.
about orders in DoorDash the literal key and gate code is given to them right now. Like the Sorcerer's Stone is in all of your guys' fucking hands right now, and you're just blabbing it out loud.
Yeah,
Like
but
to me,
you
it
didn't
blows
give.
my mind. Hold on. It blows my mind that the negative side of the community would try and slander it so far when they're the ones using it also.
Okay, so slandering, telling the truth about something and transparency is not slandering. I don't think you can slander a feature in artificial intelligence by sharing people. I don't think you can slander a feature. Glitcher's a very dumb individual. Okay, so don't pay it. Listen to his words, but realize he's using terminology very improperly. This is absurd.
They're the ones
Yeah,
making money from it, and when it gets taken away, all of us are going to take the hit on it and get reset to just being the bare minimum of struggling on DoorDash, like majority people that do. You know,
see, but
like in
that's not.
any
Okay, so that's where we're going to end tonight. You guys, that's all I needed to show you. This is just like cherry and stuff. I don't even have to show you like 20 minutes of Pedro. I need to show you just a little snippet of these idiots' conversation, and you can smell the turds, right? You smell the turds in the punch bowl. You're never going to drink that punch again, are you? The illusion is over. And I'm going to say one more thing before I go. Um, Earlier on in this broadcast, and I'm glad I didn't share it with you, Pedro and the other yucks in here seem to be making a lot of innuendos about masculinity and homosexuality and other things, and riding each other's dicks and lots of other things. These people are not really very good examples of human beings for anyone to follow right now. I found this broadcast to be reprehensible on a human level. If Pedro thinks of himself as some kind of wise adult capable of leading an audience anywhere into betting on themselves or into gig economy or anything else, I think boy is he going down a bad path. He's really doing the world a disservice right now, and his disgusting homophobic and delusional organized criminal broadcast powwow tonight was a real shit show. So I'm Jeff Thomas Black. This has been another bizarre episode of the Full Dash Closure audiobook and podcast. I hope you sleep better than I do. Good night.